Hello, Lea, once again. So good to see you.
Hi, good to see you again. So happy to be here.
Yes. So last time we talked to you while you were in Italy, now you're back in Vienna,
Yeah,
living in Vienna.
you can see
And
the change in background.
yeah, I really love it. I can see that you're a yoga teacher and know about the body and your fitness
Yeah,
pro. I
that
can
was studio, our working room. So yeah, I guess you refer to this in the background.
I really like it. So Lea is a health coach and also yoga teacher, and she works a lot with the body, of course. And also, one of your favorite topics to talk about is habits, and this is what we talked about in the last two interviews. And today we're going to talk about situation support, and I can imagine that this ties in really well with the habits, because last time you talked about how you can set up your environment, and, for example, put some reminders on to help people develop habits that they choose.
Yeah, exactly. So we already touched a small part of the topic situation support. So firstly, thank you very much for the induction. Introduction, yeah. Exactly. My name is Lea. I'm a health coach. I specialize on habits and intuitive yoga. So, and we go a little bit deeper into the topic situation support because it is a major part of habit creation in general. So I would love to start with simply why is situation support, such a big deal and can have such a great impact on your life. So I would like to answer this question first, just to know what we are talking about here, actually, why it is important what we talk
Excellent.
about. So I think what is very important to keep in back of your mind is that we nowadays live in a very pleasure driven society. This comes from us having everything abundant. At any given time, you can have not only food, but your favorite foods from whatever store around the corner. I can't even count it. So within 10 minutes walking distance, I can reach only grocery stores. I think it is nearly 20.
Mhm.
So just to make this point of our abundance we are living in.
That's true.
And this makes us drive for pleasure. Like pleasure seems to have become our new focus. And this is a little bit dangerous because, well, everything else you might set aside because it is a like natural reaction of the body, kind of let's say you get a cue in your environment. Yeah, let's take the candy drawer again. That's always a beautiful example. So let's imagine you want to stop eating so many sweets, but you have a candy drawer at home. So the candy drawer doesn't even have to be open. You can just see it from the outside. That is kind of a cue for your brain because your brain knows exactly what is in there,
Yes.
right? And out of that cue, a craving appears. So the craving is the moment where the brain starts to think, what is in that drawer that will give me a good feeling? It will give me pleasure. And this is actually kind of the point where the brain snaps because then you focus on it. And the next step would be your response. How do you respond to that craving you experience right now, right? Um, exactly. And then out of that response, our body, our brain learns because it gets a reward. Like
Mhm.
the reward is basically the feeling you imagined, which came up in the craving part, now becomes reality. That is usually just a very short moment and is massively overestimated in impact and effect on our life and ourselves and our happiness. So you can see it is a little bit of a circle we are running in, and yeah, I guess we want to use that as an advantage and not let it become a disadvantage for our lifestyle, for our goals, for our health.
So how can we make it our advantage when we like? For me, it's like you're talking about this, like the instant gratification, the satisfaction I get out of like doing what I know I shouldn't or I actually don't want to do. But like, tell us about how I can like change that or switch that to an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was kind of the background story to understand where it comes from. And well, what you can do is you can work a lot with situation support. So last time, I am so sorry, my laptop is shouting at me again, but I have the cable here. Like last time, every time I forget to plug in my laptop. So all done, all set. Exactly, situation support. So this is a really, really powerful tool to work with, because so we said we are pleasure driven nowadays because it's out there in abundance. Secondly, good to know is that we are very visual. Vision is eyesight, is our strongest sense. So whatever you come across in your environment, it gives you cues automatically if you want or if you want to not. It's happening. It doesn't have to happen consciously. A lot is happening unconsciously and has indirect effect on you. Yeah, and this is why the environment is so strong an impact, because everything in your environment has an effect on you, basically. So we can use that. We can use our environment to our advantage. And we touched on that last time already when we were saying the candy drawer, you know, if you want to stop eating sweets, don't have them at home. Because
sounds so simple.
it does sound kind of simple, and the concept behind it is kind of simple. It's just as soon as our emotions get involved, everything becomes a little bit more difficult. And maybe, you know, probably you have kind of an emotional bond to your sweets already, because you know, this is your reward of having gotten through the day, having done all your work, taking care of your family, and now this is my quality moment. I sit down, I have my chocolate. So there's a lot behind that, psychologically talking. Yeah. Exactly. So the very simple concept of removing tempting things. This is the one concept. The other concept is working exactly the other way around, adding cues. This is what we were talking about last time. This can be, as we said, leaving a note, you know, to remind yourself about something. For example, for me, exactly, winter is coming up. I live in Austria, so I take vitamin D supplements in winter. Well, you know, over the last few years, it looked like once in a while I would take that because I would forget. It was just, you know, my priority, my focus. So what I do is on our coffee machine, there is a post-it, take your vitamin D now.
Now.
Now, just to remind myself. And the now is because if I don't do it now, I will not do it later, because I saw the post-it. If I see it again, I ignore it. I just keep going to a different direction.
True. Yeah. And you forget it again, right? Like vitamin D is not on your mind all the time. Like actually never. And you have to make the most out of this one cue, right?
Exactly. And the mind is so busy and wandering all the time. In fact, science shows that our mind is wandering almost 50% of the time. Wandering means uncontrolled thoughts. A
lot, yes.
That is massive as well, because all of that has a massive impact on us without us realizing. Okay, but not going too far into that topic. Back to the situation support. So we were saying the environment is such a great tool to work with to create, establish new healthy habits or get rid of habits that, you know, don't serve you anymore. Because our vision is our strongest sense, and this is what we simply want to use to create a new habit or get rid of something we don't want to have in our lives anymore. So what the brain is doing constantly, and this is due to, you know, evolution. The human wanted to, you know, stay alive, not getting killed, all that kind of stuff. Most of our things we do automatically nowadays, our behaviors come from that time.
Yeah.
And we have to translate them into modern times because the environment changed, right? So what the brain is still doing though is it's scanning the environment constantly for hints, for predictions, what is going to happen next, because this is a survival mechanism. And if we set our cues or remove temptations strategically in our environment, we can kind of create a pathway for us. See,
so make it easier for our brain not to be distracted or not to go into that direction where we consciously don't want to go.
Exactly, yeah. And we shouldn't wait to do that for the moment where the situation occurs. This is already too late. Where we have to start is before that, because we have to plan it and we have to prepare it. That takes time as well. So if you don't plan time in for that, the project probably already fails in the first stages of preparation, because you don't take time to really prepare it. If you don't really prepare it, you know, there are temptations probably everywhere, nothing is prepared in the moment. It's like, yeah, I want to go to the gym this morning, but I mean, I just woke up. I don't have my gym bag packed. I don't even know what I'm gonna have for breakfast. Do I have to do grocery? And you know, this is like stressing out already in the morning. So if we stick to the example of going to the gym in the morning, right? What would be a great way to plan and prepare and to implement this new habit is that you start in the evening before. Prepare your flat, your gym bag, what you're gonna have for breakfast, whatever it is, you know, the steps you take in the morning. When you prepare them in the evening and everything is in place, you wake up, you know what you're about to do, and everything is sorted out for you. You don't have to think, am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? It is all there, ready to do. And this is, you know, removing this massive barrier of, you know, I want, but something, you know, is holding back.
The decision is already made. The decision is made in the evening. And you don't have to practice willpower in the morning when you just wake up and you're like, oh, staying in bed or like looking for my shoes or for my sport clothes. Yeah, make it as simple as possible. That's
exactly. Yeah. And the morning is anyways, you know, you just woke up, so your brain is about waking up. So sometimes when I'm not prepared, I ask myself in the morning, what do I have to think about this morning? Like, not even to do, but what do I have to think about of doing? So the step before that, like, that is always messy.
Yes.
That never works out. Like, you just mentioned something really good. We touched on last time the willpower, right? Just for a little recap to involve that into this conversation as well. The willpower is massively overrated, right? Because studies show actually that the people who have the most self-control, so those are usually, you know, the people who are highly successful in their job, and they, you know, you look at them and you think, how can you be so successful in your job and train every day and have a happy family and, you know, have your hobby project aside, you know, those
yes,
you can just, you know, look up to with really big eyes. How are you doing that? This is amazing. Anyways, those people are usually the people who put themselves the least into tempting situations. That is kind of the secret. So you can decide, do you rely on your willpower which is kind of, you leave it up to in what kind of mood you are, how stable your emotions are right now, what is happening in your environment. When you rely on your willpower, you have to understand as well, whatever is happening around you, and unplanned things are happening all the time to you. Every little thing can just put you out of order so easily.
So
And
easy.
this is what you want to avoid. And yeah, planning and preparation is just the best tool to get yourself on the right track. Whatever you want to do, if you want to go to the gym, if you want to cook healthier, if you want to have less stress in daily life, it all comes down to planning and preparation. Yeah.
It doesn't sound very sexy, but it's the key. It is, right?
I know, and I know we all want things to sound very sexy. Like they have to be attractive and cool and everything, but I believe that we have to get used to enjoying boredom again in our life. It is just, what's happening with you, with humanity. When you look at the history of humanity, what happened, I mean, it's a little bit insane, right? Where we've been 200 years ago and where we are now at. And all that is kind of overwhelming almost, isn't it, nowadays? We were mentioning last time that average adult living in a city comes across about 6,000 marketing messages a day.
Wow.
A day. This is just marketing. This is only one little piece, so there's a lot to deal with, a lot. And our brain is constantly running, like there's constantly something going on. This is why mindfulness and meditation are so big nowadays as well, because on the other hand, mental health issues, depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, all that kind of stuff, not knowing where they come from, because you have a roof over your head, you have your food, you have a loving family, you have a secure job, but still, something puts you completely out of order. They go up high over the last 20 years, and it doesn't look much better, the prediction for the coming years. So what does that tell us? Having a look at what science tries to find out, it's just it is overwhelming, as simple as that, and it makes absolutely sense. So you want to kind of take it, like, de-stress a bit. You don't have to take in all that information. You probably don't want to take in all that information. So, give things the right value, I'd say. And, having your life sorted in a fast-paced world we are living in, with high expectations towards any individual, is maybe, doesn't sound very sexy, but it's gonna give you so much stability and so much calm. And this is why it's really worth it. It really does.
I fully agree with you.
But it's absolutely relaxing. And I mean, for me personally, something what brings calm into my life and what is relaxing is super sexy, by the way.
Oh my god, yes. I'm all in for that. And not, I think the magic, or the challenge maybe, is to don't make relaxation a to-do item on your list, but to weave it into the daily lives. But maybe it starts with a to-do, but then it's like more and more easing into it, and the word that you started this conversation with was boredom, and allowing yourself to be bored. I think is really, really interesting, and I know for myself that I struggle with that a lot. It was like, I have to be efficient, I have to do something, I have to at least think something productive.
Yeah.
Like in the morning, what do I want to think about right now? Like, how do I want to set up my whole day? Instead
Yeah.
of, it's
Yeah.
so good. It feels so good to be in bed right now.
Oh God, yeah. No, absolutely. It seems like we really don't allow us to be bored, our mind to be calm, because I know exactly what you talk about, right? So when I have a quiet moment, I mean, nowadays I'm a little bit more used and trained in all of that. So the morning is a very calm moment for my mind. I told you earlier, first thing I wake up, I forgot after my, quick morning meditation, that is not a long thing, that is just a in bed, just for a moment, realizing, yes, I am awake, but I don't have to stress now for anything, all good. Welcome to life, have a good day, kind of little morning meditation. And then afterwards, the very first thing I do is drinking half a liter of water for, the metabolism, for my digestion. And then I go to the park and walk around with my dog. So this takes about an hour all in. And then I'm back home having breakfast. So this is the routine I established for the morning. And I remember particularly at the beginning, because you can hear this is quite a lot of time where nothing is happening. I'm not with the phone, I'm not on the computer, I'm not listening to the radio, nothing. So a lot of space for the mind to start getting crazy, right? And I remember at the very beginning, it was like that. I literally did not allow me to have a calm mind, to enjoy not having to think of anything particular. So I would have my coffee, what a beautiful day. And then, oh, right. So what can I do today? What are my plans today? So I have that on my list. I can make it a little bit more efficient. Can I, put in this in between and organize that? And, until coffee was finished and I was literally, I have to get started. So actually achieving the absolute opposite. So yeah, it is as well kind of, it is a little bit of a training thing as well. You have to get used to. So definitely to give you some tips on the way at the end of our chat today.
Yes, please.
To summarize as well a little bit, you want to remove temptations. Remember the candy drawer. One thing I would recommend to anyone, if you're listening right now, grab your phone and do it now. Remove the notifications from social media from your phone. This is like incredible. I watch it over and over again, and people don't realize their phone ring. They do something, they are with their mind engaged into something, a creative process or a logical process. This is all processes building up in our mind. This is work. This is a journey. And then they just interrupted it as if it would be nothing. Thinking as well, they're going to come back and crack on exactly here, which is not the case. It takes a while to find out where exactly did I stop. It takes a while to get back into the thinking pattern. And usually the result is less great because you interrupted the process and it just got a little bit messy, kind of. So then the notification pops up, they interrupt that. Oh, what is going on? It is not important whatsoever to your life. It's probably not only not important to your life, it's just, if person X, Y, Z posted something today, I mean, it really, is that a reason to interrupt your work, your thinking process? Have a look at your phone. Uninteresting, put it away. This is like, that is a really big deal for our brain. And if this is happening, I don't know, when someone is busy on social media, if this is happening 50 times a day, you don't get anything done. Like your brain just gets confused with all the input it's receiving.
Yes.
And apart from that, distance to social media is anyways always a good idea, right? Because there's a real world out there we can live in. So yeah,
No, I fully agree. And I switched off my notification maybe a year ago. It's a game changer. It really is. So I started with having the social media apps not on my like main, like on my phone on the main screen, but on the other one. So I would have to like, switch over to the side. It already that helped a lot because I don't see it immediately, right? But then switching off the notification is gold.
Exactly. Yeah. This is again what we were talking before. Cue. This is the cue. You see it on your phone.
Yes.
You have this. Ooh, there's something. You have my attention. And then
you wonder what it might be. Or like, oh, I'm not gonna check the Facebook now. But like, what's it gonna be? Is it gonna be a message? Like, let me.
Yes. You're curious because what we like is we have a question, we want to have an answer. Tick it off, crack on. So you see it, you have this cue. It is kind of an open question and it will keep, making noise at the back of your mind until you have a look. So yeah, this is a very, very powerful strategy to invite a little bit more calm into your life, to channel your focus on the things that really matter to you. And that doesn't mean, stay off social media completely. It just means you should decide when to use it. Yeah, and not social media should decide when you use it. I mean, this is great for Facebook and Instagram as a business, that they have that impact. But for us as an individual, for our brains, it is not such a great thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's numero uno, remove temptations. The opposite, leave reminders. So not only notes, not only packed gym bags, it can be anything. You can get completely creative, I'm not very creative at the moment, otherwise I would give another example. But whatever it is that reminds you about doing this thing you want to do. What we, for example, said the other day, just to get a little bit more into the creative direction, but this is actually removing temptation a little bit, is we have a massive TV. We have this massive TV because when I was 18 years old and I moved into this flat, I just, thought I want to have a home cinema, right? So we got this massive TV. It is literally like I think it's too big, because you look into the living room and it is just there. It is, apart from the sofa, the biggest thing in there.
We have the same, yes.
Of course it is tempting to lay down for an hour and just watch something. But we, because my partner is also a fitness and health coach, it is in our daily life, in our daily thoughts, okay, what can we do to make our lifestyle a little bit more suitable for our health goals? Yeah. And we don't want to end up, until 11 o'clock watching, this Netflix series and then going directly to bed, because this is not great for the brain with all the blue rays and stuff like that, and not very calming. And so on. And so what we were saying, what we want to do to kind of take the focus, the attention, this massive TV is drawing, in order to remove that a little bit, we just said we're going to put a blanket on top of the TV. Just that. It can be simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just literally think about, right, what are you seeing? What kind of cue is it giving you? Do you want to have that cue? If it's not, put something on top. Remove it. Get creative. I don't know, when it's something where you put your hand in, maybe you want to put a little mouse, how is it called? Falle, Mausefalle. Where you like it doesn't pop up in English. You know, when you have a mouse and you have this little thing and the mouse should run in there and then you
A trap.
A trap, yeah, a mouse trap, exactly. You know, whatever it is, because this is not funny. You get it once on your finger and you know,
Oh my God, yes.
your hand in there again. Really get creative. And to crack on, point number 3 is also prepare your social environment. There are always going to be people involved into the changes you want to make. Mm-hmm. Partner, children, colleagues. I don't know if you have a habit of going for a walk every day with the same neighbor. Whatever it is, you know, all those people who could be affected or who could be of support for you in achieving your goal, they should be informed about that. It's not like you don't have to ask them, you know, for a favor to do something particular to support you, but they should know so they understand your actions and no argument is going to arise in the future. For example, so prepare your environment as well. Make the people around you aware what you're about to do and why are you about to do that. So you gain some understanding and maybe, you know, you inspire someone and maybe you find a buddy because there's a person who is like, that is so damn cool. I want to do that too. And then you directly have a accountability buddy and
yes.
more situation support.
And people actually often want to help and support you in your goals.
Absolutely. We tend to think, you know, this is going to be annoying for the person or whatever. But most of the time, you know, people are happy when another person is happy and spread around as well.
And inspire others to make up their own goals. Yes.
Exactly. Absolutely. So this can, again, you can kick off a beautiful journey, not only for you, but for other people as well. Yes. And number 4 is definitely, you know, have a structure. Don't leave it, you know, up to coincidence if things are happening. Have a structure. However, this is going to look like, you know, if you have a daily structure, if you have a weekly structure, a monthly, whatever, you know, have your plan, you know, I mean, you have a plan for everything in life that is important, right? You had a plan at school, you have a plan at work. I don't know, maybe you have a plan to, you know, get your grocery done during the week, also very important, right? And one of those things you like to forget and then hurry and get stressed over it. Have a plan for the things that matter to you in order to make sure that they are happening. Mm-hmm. That is also situation support. Mm-hmm. And focus on the preparation. You don't want to focus on the situation when the temptation or whatever it is, of course, you want to focus on the preparation. This is where the real work takes place. Yeah. Everything that follows afterwards is just the impact this preparation has. So those would be, like, I would say, my 5 tips of how to implement habits. It would be have a structure, focus on the preparation, leave reminders around you, remove temptations, and invite the people around you to, you know, understand what you're doing. Yeah.
That sounds like a quite holistic approach to habit formation, but also to have your environment reflect your goals and support you in your goals, and not stand between you and your goals, but make it easier.
Exactly. Yeah. This is make it easier. I like that. That reminds me about I'm gonna quote Jonathan Goodman now. He is very, very big in the fitness industry. I don't know if anyone knows him. However, he always says, how would it look if it was easy? Mm-hmm. I ask the question myself almost every day. I don't know, when I try to put a webinar or workshop together, you know, where so many different parts flow in, the creativity part, the accountability part, the hard, boring work part. Okay, how would it look if it was easy? You know, things don't have to be complicated. Only our thoughts make them complicated.
Yeah. And yeah, I can see that this question can help in every area of your life.
Yeah, definitely. I talk from my own experience. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much.
Oh, you are more than welcome. This was beautiful. Do you have, I like to talk and wander in my directions of talking. So just, to make sure you have everything you need. This was all, understandable what I was saying. Do you have like a question that in your mind, which has not been answered yet?
Nothing comes to my mind right now. I think you did a really, really good job in explaining how different areas of my environment play into my habits, but also my actions, my behaviors. And there is always a like giving and taking. I'm always in communication with my environment, and environment can be like something like something you can touch or another person, but also the plans that are happening in my mind and are kind of not non-physical things, all play a big role, and I can use those things to support me, as I can also kind of use them or have them to be unsupportive. And I think also finding out which of my plans, which of my social interactions, which of my environmental cues do not support me moving closer to my goal is also super important, right? And then like, what can I change to make them neutral or to make them supportive?
Yeah, absolutely. Nice. I hear from the nice summary you just gave that this was all clear. After I had my, talking flow, always asking myself, but did I transport that message clearly? So thank you so much for clarifying that. You see mess in the mind, it is something completely normal. But yeah, we can work on that and we can work with it. And this is the most important thing, and being patient, being loving with yourself. It all comes down as well to how you treat yourself as well.
Yes, so true.
You know that.
If our listeners do have any questions, please put them into the comments. I didn't check the comments now, but we will get to them. And Lea is very, very happy, I'm sure, to answer all questions, or we can also incorporate them to the next interview, which is going to take place next week.
Perfecto. Yeah, absolutely. Whatever questions, I will have a look that I look into your group and answer something if it pops up. Otherwise, exactly, we can incorporate it on our next talk. Next week, Thursday, 11 o'clock, right?
Exactly.
Perfecto. I look forward to that one. This is going to be our last talk, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, that almost feels sad.
Well, you're going to stay in the group and we're going to continue the conversation.
Yeah.
So thank you again, Lea.
Thank you so much for having me. That was wonderful. I look forward to next time.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. Ciao. Take care of your being.